Hello and welcome to another edition of The One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. We have a very special guest with us today.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to Union 2 forward Sal Olivas.
Yes, and it was a really good interview. But before we get started, what are we wearing today?
I'm just wearing my Live Breathe Football navy blue shirt that has all the design on the back mostly. Always very comfy choice.
And I'm wearing a brand new t-shirt. We showed it's the one with the snake and the bridge on the back.
Yeah, really, really good shirt that they put
Yeah,
out
and it has
recently.
a unique, it's like cotton, but it's also
It's like a
has,
blend. It's
it's
like
like a blended, it almost reminds me of a warm-up shirt, but a little bit softer.
yeah, and for the record, we got it online for like 25% off. So, per tip.
So, where can people find us?
You can find us on social media, on Twitter at TOTWAG, or X, I guess, if you will. We're on Instagram and Facebook at The One Team We Agree On. We have our YouTube channel, The One Team We Agree On, and our website, theoneteamweagreeon.com. You can also find our personal Twitter handles. I'm at silly double underscore Jilly, and Kyle is at Coach Almany. And of course, we're on Instagram and everything too. And I have my TikTok as well that I need to be updating, but silly hyphen no, it's Jillian hyphen Almany. I was forget my
We
own.
need to put like a little sticker here.
I think I do, but yeah.
But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is our interview with Sal. Hope you guys all enjoy it and comment below what you think. And here we'll go ahead and get started.
All right. So today we are talking with Sal Olivas, who is playing with Union 2.
Yeah, we've seen Sal multiple times, had the opportunity to interview him as well. So Sal, thank you for your time today. And how you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Just got back from training, but doing good.
Have a good day training.
Oh yeah, hot one. It's getting hot out there. So
Yeah.
It really is. It really is. So, tell us how you got started and your experience growing up. Did you always play soccer or were you introduced to other sports growing up?
right. Well, you know, at the beginning, I guess, like maybe growing up like 3 or 4, I always wanted to be like a football player. It was my family more like grew up on football and basketball, so I always wanted to be like a running back. But my dad was like, "Nah, you're too small." So he's like, "We'll throw you in soccer. Not too much contact." And ever since then, I couldn't leave the sport. I fell in love with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what age did you get involved in soccer?
Like I'm gonna say like 3.5, 4, because I was playing like my sister got started playing, and I started playing like or like training like with her team and stuff like that when I was like a little kid, and my dad was like, well, maybe we should get you on a team, and then he threw me in soccer, and then that's how it all started right there.
That's awesome. I remember when I got into soccer, my dad one day just and I think I shared this story with you, Jen. My dad just one day we were at this thing, and I'm like chasing this ball around. He's like, "Hey, you want to play it?" Now I'm like 5, so you started way younger than me, and I just started running around with this ball. And he's like, this is soccer." So I got on the team, and like the first day, I just started dribbling the ball out of bounds, and like it was just funny. But anyway, yeah, it's amazing how you get into sports like that growing up. Just you want to do one thing. I know for me, we didn't have football in my school growing up, so it was soccer or basketball, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, growing up in El Paso, describe the soccer culture there compared to the Philadelphia area.
Right. Well, obviously El Paso, it's different because it's Hispanic dominated, really. So soccer is more it's more a competitive sport than any other sport there. It's mainly soccer there, and there's some competitive sports like basketball, football, stuff like that. But I mean, soccer, dominates the city right there. Everybody's in love with soccer there, and stuff like that. But not only that, the food is great, right? I love having Mexican food there. That's definitely one thing I miss from El Paso being back home. Definitely the food there. So
Yeah, have you found any good Mexican food up here?
Ah, I mean, I can't, not really. Like it doesn't really like compare to like, having like authentic Mexican food there in El Paso. I mean, being a border city right
Right.
there, and
Right.
get some great food there. So
Yeah, nothing that lives up to the standards, I'm sure.
yeah.
Just like you go outside, you can't get a real Philly cheesesteak outside of like the area, right?
That's definitely I've never tried a Philly cheesesteak before I came here. So when I came here, they took me to get a Philly cheesesteak, and I was like, man, this is great. This
Well, what if you don't mind me asking, what's your go-to dish when you're back home? What's
uh
the
probably probably like enchiladas. Like, I always go to this restaurant with my family every time I go, and I always get, either flautas or enchiladas, like, four enchiladas with rice and beans, and it's getting me the chills already. I'm already thinking about it.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, we love Mexican food, but I'm
Yeah.
sure like nothing we get around here, I'm sure compares. So,
Yeah, exactly.
um, yeah, and how does just cultures and day-to-day life differ too? I mean, it's a lot different being up in Philly, I'm sure.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously, you know, uh, being here, it it's like when I was at home, I didn't really train as much as there as I did here, obviously, and coaching staff is different and stuff like that. Obviously, not being away from home as well, it's definitely different, and not being able to see family and all that. Just being able to kind of just call them on the phone or see them on FaceTime, stuff like that. So I mean, obviously, I say that's like the biggest difference than being over here and over there.
Yeah, no, that's got to be challenging. I know we had Eddie on not too long ago, and I know that's just being that far away from your family. You got to have a good support system, of course. Yeah, so definitely a big change, though, I'm sure, coming over.
Yeah, what made you choose the Philadelphia Union Academy? Like, what is that? Like, was there other clubs interested, or was it always just, "Hey, here's Philadelphia Union Academy?" If you could kind of walk us through that a little bit, and then what were your biggest adjustments coming to Philadelphia and, going into the academy system? Like, how was that adjustment for you?
Right. I did have some other academies recruiting me as well, and they were all great. But I think coming here, it's like it was like a different environment here. It's like they had specific like teachers and all these other staff taking care of not only soccer or anything like that, but it's also like they take care of your mental health and your physical health and all that things there. So they really care about you and stuff like that. And so I was like, man, although this is like the farthest I'm gonna be away from home, but I think it's definitely probably the best fit for me as of right now, and rather than just taking the easy way out, not only thinking about the distance between home and obviously playing here, but and my family also really enjoyed me being here. They felt it was like I was in a safe place and very well treated here as well. And I think the coaching staff, and obviously it was the best academy in the nation. So I was like, I can't deny that right there.
Excellent, excellent. And then what's been the biggest jump going from the academy system and playing now with Union 2 when you get those starts compared to with the academy starts? Like, what's the biggest difference?
Right. Obviously, definitely the speed. In the academy, obviously you're playing with a lot of kids your age and all that, but now you're going up to the second team, which is it's bigger guys, stronger, faster. They don't really care how old you are; they'll put you to the ground, and so you always got to be ready and stuff like that. But I think definitely those are the biggest changes there, and definitely coming in and having a new coach. New formations, new teammates, stuff like that. So you have to adjust to all those things and see what your teammates like to do or tend to do or anything like that.
So, which coaches in the academy have influenced you and helped you the most in your experience so far?
I think, well, obviously I was only here for, like 6 months in the academy, but I'd say probably Toby has definitely been, you know, Tobias has been he really taught me a lot when, especially, trusting a kid where I didn't really have much experience in the academy life or anything like that. I was coming from just training by myself, so I had to learn a lot of things, and he was very patient with me, and he trusted me really, and I trusted him as well. So it was a good relationship that I had with him, and I grew not only as a player but as also as like a person as well. So it was I say he definitely was one of the best coaches I've ever had in my life.
Excellent, excellent. Just sticking with just a little bit of the academy practices and just the union's philosophy in general. We hear it from when we interview players all the time, both first, second team academy, that there's a common language taught throughout the Philadelphia Union system. What is your experiences with that, and would you say that is true?
Um, yes, obviously, a lot of things are very similar. Not only the way we play, but also just the way they kind of teach us. The little tactics or anything like that. We follow us. Obviously, we follow directions kind of like from the first team. We try to follow their game plan and try to build up into going into the first team as like that. So yeah, obviously I think it's very similar, just the way we play and the way we're taught different things. Definitely just obviously going forward, obviously is definitely one of the biggest things that the union is big on, going forward and stuff like that. And I think uh, I had to learn that coming in here and how to adjust my game really to that. And but yeah, I think that it's mainly just kind of like the game plan and the way they teach us different tactics on how the first team, they want to really kind of imitate like how the first team plays.
And what would you say was your biggest, like, you said you had to like influence the way you played and change up the little way you played when you came here. What was the biggest difference in the way you played prior to coming to Philadelphia?
Probably, I'd say a lot more pressing.
Okay.
I would,
Yep.
I, you know, Hispanics. Well, where I come from, it's more of just like kind of like sitting back and waiting, just let them play. But here, we take charge in our front line, and the forwards really set the tone, and we have to really run a lot. I mean, we're not just running without chicken without a head. We're running for a purpose here and running to score goals and stuff like that. So I had to learn a lot of things from the academy and also here at Union too. Definitely, the biggest thing was probably just learning how to just run a lot more than what I'm used to really.
Right. So you have dual citizenship, right? US and Mexico. And having been with the US and Mexico youth teams, how are their styles different? And for you personally, which do you feel moving further into your career you'd rather represent?
Yeah, definitely. Well, they have similar playing styles, really, but Mexico is more of like they like to play with the ball a lot more. They're a lot more calm, and they're not really in a rush to go towards goal. Really, they like to play with the ball a little bit, and get them when they're least expecting it. But thing with the U.S., they go to goal probably a little bit faster than Mexico does, and definitely they have bigger players really, because Mexicans obviously they're a little bit on the smaller side, but yeah, I mean I would say that's probably like the biggest difference. But as far as picking either one, I don't think I can choose. I mean they're both. It was getting called up by both of them is absolute honor. Seeing always been like a dream of mine, just kind of playing for like my country as well, and I got to do that. But I feel like I can't choose as of right now. I'm very grateful to get a call up by either one of them.
What's that process like? Is it via phone, email? Like, how do you find out, I guess? 'Cause
Right.
we
There it could be different. You could hear from, one of the higher ups telling you that you got called up, or you can get an email, you can get a phone call, a text, or anything like that. For me, I got an email, and then the next time I got aware by one of the higher ups told me that I got called up or anything like that. But like, I mean, the feeling when you find out is just a different type of like joy and different emotions going on. You're nervous and happy, but definitely more of happy.
That's awesome, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, sure, that would be a tough decision if you had to choose, but definitely an honor to represent both. I know we were talking about that situation with Neil, with him having the opportunity with US or with Haiti. So, yeah, that would be tough.
So, one question I have, this actually came from some of the guys at the Bridge Brigade. It's kind of one of the questions I was going to ask, but what are your three most memorable moments to this point in your career, and what would you say is your most memorable goal?
So the top three most memorable moments was probably well, first, obviously winning GA Cup with the U17s. I mean, it was my first ever big tournament and anything like that. And I remember just being, it was such a good environment. We were in Florida. I was with all my brothers. And we were all happy. Just we've been working so hard during the season, and that was an amazing feeling. And also, definitely, signing my professional contract was definitely one of the best moments I've ever had in my life. I mean, obviously it's a step that it was going to change my life really forever, really. So I'd say that, and also probably scoring, my first goal, just with my family there, or my dad in the stands, watched me score my first professional goal, and that's when I dedicated that one to him. So that was definitely top three. And my most memorable moment was probably, or my most memorable goal. Is that what was the question?
Yeah, yeah.
Most memorable goal. I think my second goal versus Columbus, when all my family was there, including my girlfriend Lila. She was there, and we flew out for my graduation, and she stayed and watched the game, and yeah, I mean, that was one of the best goals I've ever scored in my life. I mean, it was such a great feeling just to had to had to dedicate that one to them as well.
Y-
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a great game.
That
Yeah.
was a great game.
Yeah. So, what would you say makes this Union 2 team special?
Right. Well, I think we're such a young team, and I think it. We kind of all know each other's playing styles and all that. We kind of know, and I really enjoy being with my teammates, like with my teammates, like you know just because it makes it easier to play with them on the field, just because you know how they work. Not only that, you've been with them, some of the guys from the academy or anything like that, and I think we just kind of all know each other really, and that's what I think we have a really great team, young team, and also a lot of success. And I think just being, well, I guess, humble about it. And I think we're all really humble about any of the success that we're getting, and yeah, I mean, just being uh, down to earth about everything, really. And also, I mean, we bust our butts every day in training. I don't think any other team is busting our butts as much as we are.
That's great to hear. With this game coming up against Cincinnati, I think they've had your number now twice this year. What makes them difficult to play against? And, what are your thoughts about going into this game?
Um, Definitely, what makes them difficult to play against. I mean, I don't know. I guess, it was just an off game. I don't think I think we're a much better team than them. I think we're uh it was just an off game for that, obviously, because after the first game, obviously they had like a little bit of momentum going with them and going into this game, and obviously they were coming for that number one spot. So it was definitely just I'm gonna say just an off game, but I don't think they're an unbeatable team. I think we can easily beat them with this group. Such a talented group. So
Yeah, it should be a good one, and we're looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing that tomorrow. So let's talk about what are your future goals? College, first team, the union, going overseas. Like, what do you hope to accomplish in the future?
But yeah, first and foremost, I definitely want to graduate college and get my degree. Promise my family I would do that. Go to online school, and definitely, I mean, progressing to the first team. That's definitely been a dream of mine. At least playing in the MLS and stuff like that. And progressing as a young player, I want to you know get in there, and also if I do well enough there, I hope to get sent to Europe and go to Europe and really just live my dream there.
All right. So we're asked two fun questions. If you had to start a rock band with some of your closest teammates, who would it be with, and what instruments would they play?
Uh, I what teammates?
Yeah.
All right, I'll okay. Well, I'd definitely be. I mean, I would probably be the lead singer here, stuff like that, and then I don't know, Chivo Alex Perez he'd probably be like the drummer. I feel like he can get it on, and probably David Vasquez doing the guitar, and then CJ, because CJ, he plays like the piano. He plays it pretty
Ooh,
good. So, what's it
Oh,
called? Keyboard or something like that.
yeah.
really?
The keyboard. So he plays good. We have a piano here, and he's a good piano player. I mean, I'll give it to him. So I have him there, and I probably put like Kevin in like as like a backup singer or something like that, or like just like answer or something.
Oh man. Yeah, that would be quite the group. So that I didn't know that about CJ. That's interesting. We've
That is
seen we've seen Andre Blake playing the piano, but yeah, CJ, that's news to us.
interesting.
We gotta hear him play sometime.
Say something for. He's good. He's good.
Yeah. And can you carry a pretty good tune?
Nah, I can't.
No?
Yeah.
No. Hey, it's all about the vibes when singing. So
Exactly.
absolutely. Um and of course we gotta ask this every person we have on for Union 2. What's your favorite hug flavor?
Oh man. I don't really know the flavors, but I do like the blue one. The blue one, I don't know if that's like the raspberry or like the blueberry or something like that.
Yeah.
That's probably like my top favorite one for
That's
sure.
you. Yeah, that's been our like number one answer.
It has been.
When we asked Andrew Rick the one time, he said green, and I think everyone else has been blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any flavor, I'm picking the blue flavor. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Sal, this certainly has been fun. We want to thank you for your time. Before we get out of here, where can people find you on social media?
Uh, my Instagram, Sal Olivas 06, just my name, and there, just really, that's really it where you can find me. But I definitely will start posting a lot more on Instagram. So
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, best of luck against FC Cincinnati too, and we'll be watching you guys throughout the rest of the season. We wish you guys nothing but the best, and including your career moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, continued success, and we look forward to seeing how the rest of the season plays out.
yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Bye on.
All right. Well, that's the interview, and that was a really good bit of insight into Sal's background, and also we learned a few interesting tidbits there too, didn't we?
About CJ only playing the piano.
Yeah, we all need to hear CJ play the piano now.
Yeah, let's make that content union. You gotta make CJ only playing the piano. I mean, you did Andre Blake did his
We could
thing.
have a piano battle.
Ooh, Andre
Oh,
Blake versus CJ only.
yeah. I
Oh,
wonder who else has musical talents on
anyway.
the team too. that'd be worth
We're
finding
asking
out.
all these players, maybe by the end of the year, they'll just create a band and do that as
Create an
content.
actual band.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
we
there.
go.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that was cool. He just him playing for both the Mexican and United States youth nationals. And
Yeah.
the call up process, how he found out, just different styles of soccer, biggest difference going from where he came from into the academy, how those styles were different, and just kind of how he got into soccer at such a young age. And
Yeah, it's always interesting to hear the origin stories and see how they got into playing the sport.
yeah, so again, Sal, thank you very much, and the best of luck again tomorrow
Yeah.
against FC Cincinnati. We'll be there
Yep. And also I think yeah, if any listeners have any good ideas of where we can get good Mexican food up here, that would probably be good to know as well. I'd
yeah,
like to know because I love good Mexican food and I'm sure what we get up here is nothing in comparison.
for sure, for sure. Well, that's been all for this episode of the One Team We Agree On.
Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on our various social media accounts and everything. And let us know what you think. We love hearing from you. See us at the games. Talk to us too. We love the interaction.
And until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
See you at the game.